What's going on, guys? This is the Fullstack bro coming at you with another video today. And today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about imposter syndrome. Now, I know a lot of developers out there now are dealing with this, and it is something that happens to everybody. I went through this personally when I was introduced into software development for the first time. I literally thought I knew everything. I thought I checked all the boxes, but then once I was thrown into the fire and had to write up features and fix bugs, I couldn't do it. And the reason for that was because I didn't understand the infrastructure on the front end, even though there was a lot that needed to get done in terms of a coding standard, cleaning things up, having things flow. I thought that I didn't really have what it took to become a developer or a software engineer at that time. If you have those feelings, it's good that you do. And I'm going to explain why. When you feel this way, that means that there's more that you need to learn. That doesn't necessarily mean that you don't know what you're doing or you're at a disadvantage compared to everybody else. What you're doing is you're comparing yourself from one dev to another and how they work and operate. You're not taking into consideration of how long it took for them to get there in the first place. They were in the same position as you. The same feelings that you're feeling right now, they felt the same way. And the way they were able to get out of that, learn as much as you can and ask questions. Don't be that person with the ego and just want to do everything on your own. Imposter syndrome, like I said, it happens to all of us. There might be certain things that, or certain frameworks or different ways about writing code and different methodologies that other developers know, and they spent a lot of time on it because they were introduced to it and had to figure out a way to solve a problem. And when that happens, you have to think outside the box. If you're first starting out, you're going to feel that way. And this is the best teacher to give you the confidence to get better and not just sit there and be discouraged that you're not doing well. You could tell when you're not doing well when you rely on going through tutorial after tutorial and you're not grasping the concepts because you're just rushing through it and you want to learn it as fast as possible. You have to take your time doing it. So a tutorial is beneficial when you take your time. When you rush through things, you're going to notice that the fundamentals that you needed to pick up from that tutorial is not going to stick with you, and you're going to fail every single time. And learn as much as you can. If there's someone on your team that already knows a particular methodology of writing code or a library that they're introducing into the project that makes things a lot easier from a developer standpoint in terms of productivity, just ask those questions like, why is this used? And it becomes a problem when you're trying to figure out everything and you're reaching out to people and they're not getting back to you, or they give you like a snobby attitude about showing you how to do things. That's not the environment that you should be a part of. And if you are a part of that environment, you need to move on. You need to look for another job ASAP because you're going to be dealing with this constant pressure of trying to be like everybody else. So in that regard, imposter syndrome sucks in the beginning, but it is the best teacher for anybody. And if it's something that you don't know, it's not a big deal. You have the means to learn it. You have the means to ask questions. And that's going to help you succeed. Not just sitting there trying to figure out things on your own. The more time you spend learning something and applying it and trying to do it every single day, you're going to get to that same level where you can just talk about anything. And you probably know more than other developers on your team or other people that you speak to on a day-to-day basis because you spend time learning it. Not a lot of people are going to know what you know. So it's up to you to be the teacher. It's up to you to give that information so that if they're asking a question about a particular topic, you're able to give them that information confidently and they could grasp those concepts. Another thing too is the reason why you feel imposter syndrome is probably because you want to be perfect. There's no way you could be perfect in this day and age. In life, in general, in your career, you could try to be as perfect as you can be, but there's always going to be flaws. Someone's going to pick something out to where you didn't spend the time, or you forgot to add that, or you forgot to include this example. They're going to find issues. They're going to find nitpicky stuff that they're going to bring to your attention. You have to be ready to answer these questions. Always thinking that you have to be perfect is going to cause you to feel like you don't belong all the time. Do as much as you can, and whatever questions that come up, you could answer those questions, or you know what, just say like, I don't know the answer right now. It's okay to say I don't know, but I don't know the answer. I will research that, and then I'll give you a better answer to that question. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to do the work, and it will show. Just imagine like in life, you sit there and you wait for the perfect opportunity to do something, and then you look back and it's been 5 years, 10 years since you made that promise to yourself. That in an essence is waiting for the perfect moment. You should just start. It doesn't matter if you don't get the numbers that you want. It doesn't matter if you're not getting recognition for that yet. I respect you more because you started. You adhere to a promise within yourself that you were going to start, and whatever the outcome is, it is what it is. It's okay to fail too. It's not a big deal. Software development, I failed so many times. As a web designer, I failed so many times. It never was perfect, and it's not the end of the world. You just have to look at the mistakes that you made, understand, okay, I won't make these mistakes again, and then the next project, try to do the same thing. And if you fail on that one, keep learning and growing until you get to a point where those mistakes don't happen regularly. This takes time and it takes effort to get there. If you don't fail, there's no way you're gonna learn and grow. If you're scared of failure, it's really gonna hold you back because you're scared of other people judging you. You're scared of, being a laughing stock out there. You just have to learn from that experience and just take those lessons and apply it to another setting. And that's gonna propel you further than you were before. Because sitting there waiting for the perfect moment is not going to help. When you're working on like smaller projects, you're going to have the confidence to go through and finish those projects, right? You're going to have the confidence because they're easy projects. But then once you start working on more complex problems, you're going to notice that a lot of the methodologies that you had in the earlier projects are not going to apply to this project. So you have to spend a lot of time researching and developing your mindset and skill set to solve the problem. This happens with everybody. I've been on projects that have been super complex, and I had to figure it out and I had to ask questions. I had to reach out to the product team to get the requirements correct. I had to reach out to other developers and see if they had experience with a particular area and how to solve it. And this kind of collaborated together to try to figure out how to solve this problem. Once you get to that point where you're doing the research, you're asking the right questions, you're applying what you learned into finishing out the project, you're going to realize that as soon as the project's done, you're going to be relieved, number one, but number two, any other project that comes up, that's going to easily get that project done and have the confidence to get it done and actually set a deadline as to when it will be done. And because you got that exposure, the harder the projects, the better you will get. The easier the projects, the more stagnant you will get. So always, when it comes to projects, take it with excitement that you're working on something new. And if it's way too easy, bring it up to like your managers, like, hey, like I want to work on something more complex, and I want to work on something that brings more value. They'll probably put you on a project and either have you work with a senior dev or have you just do the project on your own. Using imposter syndrome to your advantage is going to make you a better developer going forward. In any career path that you choose, you're going to have those feelings, but those feelings are going to dissipate once you change your mindset that you do belong. Whoever knows more than you has more experience by default, and all you need to do is just ask the right questions to get more information about that particular topic, and you should be okay. That's it. That's for the video. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. I want to see you guys in the comments. Just talk about imposter syndrome, how you're dealing with it. Hopefully this video helps you kind of get away from those feelings. And if you have any questions, you could send me an email. It's thefullstackbro@gmail.com. If you need any guidance, one-on-ones, if you're dealing with imposter syndrome and you don't feel comfortable putting it in the comments, you could reach out to me and we could talk. All right. Take care, guys.